KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
I got a big stash, pocket full of cash. Just seen a big old system on blast. Cops just passed. Just seen a big old grease don't pop from the stove. No.
Hey, you are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on that drive home or already at home. Either way, I'm glad that you are tuning in. Please sit back and enjoy the ride. Andy, that was a real nice start. Sometimes you just want to let it play, though, right? You just want to get into it. I know. I get it. Happy birthday to Ludacris. That was Luda. I don't know what he goes by at this point. Ludacris, whatever. All the above. Happy birthday to Ludacris. And also happy birthday to Taraji P. Henson, who is living her best life right now. I don't know if you've seen this woman lately, but she looks remarkable. So congratulations to the two of them. It is 9/11. I hope that you know that. I hope that you are remembering that. 22 years, as a matter of fact, that obviously our country had suffered the attacks of 9/11. This is now a commemoration that we do every single year. People post and things like that. But, really, I believe what it's about is just trying to remember that there are still people who are, mourning the deaths of their loved ones. And we are sending our love as well to them as well. Wow. Congratulations to Miles Murphy. I don't know if you know who Miles Murphy is. He is the son of Nicole and Eddie Murphy, and he just got married. He is off the market, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to, pursue that man, looks like a beautiful wedding. And his mom, by the way, Nicole Murphy, she is stunning. She is absolutely stunning. So she was showing out at the wedding, at the reception. So good for them. That's definitely a beautiful way to celebrate. And I love the fact that they still come together and they celebrate as a family. Eddie, his family, Nicole Murphy, her family, which is beautiful. It's very, very great. You know who's salty right now? Let me tell you who's salty. And we may talk about this a little bit later. Lionel Richie. We love Lionel around these parts, but Lionel Richie is salty because he says that he's invited Diana Ross to sing with him for 37 years, and she has declined. And then he looks up, and she's over here singing at Beyonce's concert, singing happy birthday to Beyonce. Well, that's Lionel Richie. Hopefully she got the message. Maybe she will accept the invitation to come and sing with him at some point in the very near future. We shall see. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. We definitely do. I see you guys already coming into the YouTube. Hello to you. Hello. If you want to call in at any point in time today, you already know you are more than welcome to do that. I like it, as a matter of fact. I love to hear your voices. And so you can do that by calling us at 1-800-920-1580. And if you don't feel like calling just yet, that's fine too. You can join us over in our YouTube chat. That's always fun because we have a great community who are over there and they're already getting started. I see you guys. So join us right now at KBLA 1580. That's on YouTube. And again, call YouTube. You can also use our app. And that's cool, too. It's called Open Mic. You can use the Open Mic feature at the bottom of the app. Go to KBLA 1580. Download the app if you have not already. And leave us a message. I like to hear your voice. Go ahead and leave us a message. So definitely do that. But until then, I want to go ahead and get to the Raw Report, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, I already told you on Friday what was about to happen. Okay, so Friday I told you that Monday, which is today, Shirley Strawberry and Steve Harvey were going to actually just lay it all out there on the line and talk about what had happened. What happened with Shirley Strawberry and her husband, Ernesto, and the fact that he's incarcerated. We talked about it all. And today was the day. She hit the waves. Shirley Strawberry hit the waves. Her and Steve Harvey both. We have the audio that we will play for you, not the entire audio because listen, we're just an hour show. All right, give us a break. We'll play a little bit for you, and we'll play Steve's response as well. But Steve talked about something that I thought was really interesting, and y'all know if you've been listening to me at all for a while, you'll know that I love talking about Black media. Black media, respect for Black media, the part that we play in Black media. Steve Harvey talks about that a little bit. So we're going to break that down on the other side. But also, I have for you today, I'm very excited to bring this to you guys. You have to stay tuned and lock in. Don't go anywhere because we have something called Fashion Forward with Rhonda Ray. That is coming up on the other side, on the last half hour of the show today. We're going to be talking fashion for all you fashion lovers, people who want to know more. Even if you're curious and you need some tips or something, we're going to talk to somebody who knows all about that and how to help you guys out with that. So you definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and get started on the other side. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
Get in zone, AutoZone. AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like,
sorry I'm late, my battery died.
And
I need a jump again.
at America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Ugh, I don't have time for a cold.
Honey.
Honey?
You need DayQuil Severe Honey flavor.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honey-licious taste. Because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honey-licious. Power through your day, medicine.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Ew. Gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried new Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, I do have a question of the day that I want to know. We came across, it's all over social media, and listen, you've seen it before. This is nothing new. All these celebrities who got it like that, they got a lot of money, they have a lot of fame, they have the glory, they have all of these things. This is also how they're raising their children. All right, so their children who are turning the big 16, these 16-year-olds are walking away with cash. I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars. They're walking away with nice cars, luxury cars that we all had to work for. I don't know about you and yours, but we had to work for in order to attain. But there are some kids over there who are getting to it at 16 years old. So I want to know, is it a bad idea to buy your 16-year-old a luxury vehicle? Is it a bad idea? Because I'll give you my thoughts in just a little bit, and I'll tell you who's done it. Somebody who blew me away on the other side because they provided their daughter 3 different cars to choose from. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I do want to go ahead and get to our conversation today with our entertainment contributor. We have Nick Hamilton of Nightcast Media on the line with us. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
It's going. How you doing?
It's going. Today was a day, Nick. Today was a day. But
you're telling me.
Yeah, we're here, and I'm glad to have you here as well. And Nick, my assumption, I can only assume that you, along with everybody else, were listening to or watching the whole Shirley Strawberry, Steve Harvey thing unfold, and that whole saga. You watched it. Okay. Well, You also know that today was the day that they were talking about it as a strawberry letter, okay, which she's been doing for many, many years. First and foremost, you weren't here that when we talked about our show on Friday. So did you have any thoughts one way or the other before I get to this clip and talk about that a little bit more? Did you have any thoughts when you first heard about what was going on?
Yeah, I thought it was a page out of General Hospital or One Life to Live, because it was nothing but pure drama. And yeah, I just it was shameful. I can say that.
Yeah, it was. Here's the thing: these things are happening simultaneously for Shirley Strawberry, which is the saddest part, I believe, of all. She's dealing with her husband who's incarcerated. He's been incarcerated for over a year now. She's dealing with that, and now she's coming, this whole leaked conversation, what she thought was a private conversation, that's happening right at the same time. And it's a conversation about her own boss, whom she also considers a friend. So there's so many layers to this. But Shirley Strawberry finally came out and she talked about it. She owned it. I loved it. I love that she owned what she had to say. She was very apologetic, but it was the latter part of her conversation that really kind of made me feel the humanity part of it. We have a little bit of what Shirley Strawberry had. This is the ending of what she was talking about, her apology, and also Steve Harvey's response to her. Let's listen to that.
Sure. And the reason I'm here before you now, I wanted to say it live on the radio, is because your name is in it. You know, we've been friends for a long time, Steve, and these jail calls were made public, and I wanted to give you and Marjorie a public apology and to ask for your forgiveness publicly. I just wanted to have a real moment with you. And, you know, I have to tell you, I've been coming to work every day because, you know, it's my only safe haven right now. It gave me a place where I could still be myself and forget my troubles for a little while, you know, and just, you know, do my job. You know, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, of course, Steve, Tommy, Junior, and of course my girl Carla, you know, for the space and the grace that you guys have shown me. You know, this is a very difficult time in my life, is if you can imagine. You know, I love you guys. We're family, and I thank you. And I just want to thank everyone. I'm just trying to live. I'm sorry for what you and your wife are going through right now in your life. And I hate your names were dragged into my drama because you certainly don't deserve it. That's it.
Well, Shirley, let me say this. First of all, what's happening to me and Marjorie, I'm going to address that. But let me say this, though. The devil is busy. The devil is busy. And the devil don't come for those he got. He sends those that he has. So now, with all that's going on around us right now, what I do understand, though, see, this jailhouse conversation you had was last year in October 2022. But the devil know how to pile on at the right time. So this tape that was made in October 2022 gets released right on the heels of all of this to just pile on some more. And I guess you say, you know, it was recorded because, you know, when everybody. Okay,
so check this out. Check this out, Nick. I need to get your thoughts on this. Andy and I were having a conversation about this on Friday. That maybe this whole thing wasn't so much about Shirley Strawberry and what she said, but maybe it was more something is going on with Steve Harvey. Someone, or maybe this is his time, but someone, it seems like they are out to get him. And Shirley, she actually, she mentions that. She talks about how everybody is coming for him. And this recording coming out right now also seems like Shirley is coming for him. Tell me, do you agree at all that this is probably more about Steve than it is about Shirley and what she said, which, to Forrest Harrison's point over here on YouTube, is not necessarily bad? What do you think?
I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but sometimes, you know, some things are better left unsaid, or when you talk to them in private. First of all, why the hell would you speak about your so-called friend's business on a public jail phone? You know every conversation is going to be recorded, especially in those types of circumstances. I mean, Shirley was out of pocket, you know, for what she did and how she spoke about her friend's business, which she really had no just of speaking on. The thing about it is, yeah, I mean, you could say all of that, the devil's busy and all that other stuff, but obviously, you know, we all have things that come against us. We all have negative forces at times that do come against us from time to time. But obviously, I believe there's a little bit more meat to this story, because obviously either Steve Harvey must have pissed off somebody and they're like on a vendetta against him, or something. The 2 and 2 ain't equaling to 4, because Steve Harvey is a public figure. Obviously, the stories have come out how him and his current wife have met. Whether, you know, they're true or not, or there's some degree of truth or not, I mean, is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, because that man chose that woman. So whatever whatever baggage she came with, or whatever baggage he came with, that's their business. You know, people love sensational stories. People don't like true-hearted, you know, stories. You know, real reporting stories. The numbers show it. You know what I mean? Like, if I wrote a story about, oh, you know, today was a great day, you know, Robin, you know, she came and fed like 50 homeless people, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that'll get a little bit of traction because you have a name, obviously. But if I said, hey, yo, Robin was coming out of Magic City with like 2 hot chicks, and, you know, they was kind of lit, and Robin was like, yeah, A-Town. You know what I mean? And I got video of that.
Uh-huh.
You know how many clicks I would get, and I could send that. And you know TMZ would pick that up, and the Shade Room and everything else would pick that up on something negative. And you was just, nothing happened. It was just you was lit, and you came out the door with two, strippers, right, out of Magic City. That's going to catch traction. Why? Because people love drama and sensationalism, whether it's true or not. It's about the moment.
Okay,
and that's what I feel like this Steve Harvey thing is.
That's a perfect segue because Steve continued on. Number one, in this conversation and in this apology, he talked about Marjorie, his wife. He was like, this is the best woman I know. She helped me build this. And he's given her so many props, and he's tired of the fact that people are coming for her or that she's included in all of this mess. He's tired of that. He definitely stood by her side and took up for him. I was like, okay, Steve. Okay, Steve, way to go to take up for your woman. That's awesome. But he also said this, which I wanted him to go in. I actually want Steve to go in on a full hour conversation just talking about this alone. He talks about black bloggers. This is something that we have a small clip that I'm going to let you guys listen to. And Nick, I want to break this down with you because we're both in the industry. We're both writers. We both, and you know how much this story or this entire topic is passionate for me. So let's play this clip, and I'm going to get your thoughts about it on the other side.
Because we sitting up in here and we dealing with stuff, and that y'all just printing lies and rumors, and the viciousness of it. It's what I'm finna talk about. Now, let me tell you something. Normally, we don't care nothing about your blogs and all this here. But I'm really tired of y'all, man. And you know the sad thing behind all of this? The majority of these blogs, they black people. The very people that we try to uphold and uplift the most. What all of our foundation is about saving and changing the lives of young black people. And then it's the black bloggers that's the nastiest when it comes to all of us. And that's the part I want to get at, and then I'm gonna let it go. Because after today, ain't no more.
All right.
After today,
I mean, that'll preach right there. That'll preach, Nick. I say this often. Okay, before you go in, I say this often. Black media we deserve respect. No doubt about it. We deserve respect. We want respect. We are trying to demand respect for people who are actually really good at what they do and people who are true journalists. However, you have a whole other side, a whole other segment of our people who are not new, or they're not true to this. They are new to this, and they are trying to grab a mic because it's accessible for everybody. And they want to just talk about things, and then they become bloggers. Anybody can do it. So Steve is right. It do be your own people. Nick, what say you, man? What do you think about what he said?
I think there's definitely some truth to it. I think, but the more Steve, and I'm glad he's going to stop talking about it, because the more you keep talking about it, you're just adding more fuel to their fire.
True.
No matter, again, people don't care about the truth. They care about what's sensational. And that's the unfortunate part. But I can't just level it to just black bloggers. I mean, what about TMZ? What about No Jumper? What about all these other Vlad TV and all these other sites that put the same type of stuff out? You know what I mean? Like, what about them? Like, you got to get on them, too. If you're going to get on the black bloggers, get on the non-black bloggers.
Yeah, no,
because
definitely
they're pumping this poison, too.
No, but definitely
and I'm just saying for him.
Nick, I hear that point. I definitely hear your point. But to that, if it's going to be anybody, it shouldn't be your own people. It shouldn't be. Like, we shouldn't be having this conversation. We shouldn't even be like, okay, well, include the other people in the No Jumpers and now whack 100 and like it. Come on. We shouldn't even be having that kind of conversation, because we got to spend so much energy targeting the black people.
Well, also, too, you got to remember, the reason why we're having this conversation is because of the numbers. Because the numbers are going to hit.
Exactly.
Whether we're on one side or the other, and that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Like, people like sensationalism. They don't like real reporting anymore. They can cry to the high heavens, and I'm not blaming Steve Harvey, because he's absolutely right, and he's absolutely well within his means to discuss it in that particular way, because they're talking about his life and his livelihood. His wife, his family is I'm sure is being affected by this as well. So he has every right. I'm not I'm not faulting Steve at all. What I'm saying is the fact that you also have a situation where we don't get the clicks and the hits when we do more positive than negative. That's just what it is, because people gravitate towards that. So why in God's name am I going to continue to go down that path? And I'm trying to build up clicks to get numbers, to get money, which has been statistically proven that we only get a little over 1% in advertising dollars as black media anyway. We can't even get to 1% if we don't have the numbers to back it up. So we have to put, unfortunately, that kind of stuff out to attract the audience.
I want to say this, and you are absolutely right. I'm definitely agreeing with you on that. I want to say this, though. There was, we already know what's happening with Blueface, Krishan. Like, we know they are literally taking over the internet right now because of their drama, because of their drama and their toxicity. We know that. But it's so interesting. I had a and I'm sure you've seen this, Nick. I had my maybe 1 minute conversation with Krishan on the same carpet that we both did together at Hollywood Unlocked, the awards that they had. One conversation that I had with her, one snippet that she actually reposted, that BET actually reposted, because it was good. It was encouraging. It was empowering. Y'all know I want to go in on this conversation. I can't do that because, Nick, I have to let you go. Oh, give me 15 seconds of your last word, Nick, before I let you go on this.
Well, you talk about Krishan, that's why I walked away, because I have to draw a line at some point. I refuse to give any attention to the new Bobby and Whitney. I refuse. The bootleg Bobby and Whitney, I'm good. So as we have to be responsible as journalists, as reporters. You have to know when to draw the line, and I think that's part of the problem. Nobody knows how or when to draw that line to say, okay, we reached the point.
Okay. Well, you know what? I appreciate you for calling in. I appreciate your thoughts on it, and your stance in the industry. Truly appreciate you, Nick. Let everybody know where they can find you online.
Thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure as always. You can find me at nightcastmedia.com. That's NITECASTMEDIA.com. Make sure y'all recognize it. I appreciate y'all support, and make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/NHExperienceTV. That's youtube.com/NHExperienceTV. Please subscribe. It's some great content. Appreciate all the support.
Got you. Thank you so much, Nick. When we come forward, we are going to have our fashion forward on the other side. Right now, news, traffic, and sports. Stay right there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it live.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks is being marked with solemn ceremonies across the country. At Ground Zero in New York, crowds gathered for the traditional bell ringing and a moment of silence at the National September 11th Memorial. Similar tributes took place at the Pentagon and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, to honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost. Michigan State University has suspended head football coach and African-American Mel Tucker without pay amid harassment allegations. Athletic Director Alan Haller made the announcement as the school investigates claims that Tucker sexually harassed a rape activist and sexual assault awareness speaker during a phone call last year. Meanwhile, New York City's Black Mayor Eric Adams is demanding all agencies implement 5% budget cuts to deal with the spiraling costs of the migrant crisis. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Over in Pacoima, watch for two middle lanes being blocked with an accident. On the 5 North at Highway 118, Paxton Street interchange will stop traffic up to 15 minutes from Highway 170. Making our way through Montebello 60 East at San Gabriel Boulevard, a stall at the moment is currently blocking the left lane with heavy traffic coming from the 710. As you head through Anaheim's 91 East before Ware Canyon Road, Yorba Linda Boulevard split, watch for an accident that remains on the right shoulder with heavy traffic coming from Highway 57.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. And right now, save 50% off any order during our Labor Day sale. Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The contract dispute between Spectrum and the Disney Corporation, which blacked out ESPN for the past 10 days, is over. Spectrum and Disney reached an agreement Monday morning on a new contract for subscriber fees. The deal comes just in time for tonight's tonight's highly anticipated Monday Night Football matchup on ESPN between the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills. A majority of Spectrum's 32 million subscribers are in the New York area. There would have been a riot in New York if this game was not available. For the 5 million Spectrum customers in the LA area, ESPN and other Disney channels were back on the air Monday morning. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum have expressed interest in playing for the U.S. in the Paris Olympics in 2024. More to come on this situation. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event, or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Bounce is back. Boy is back. I know y'all miss the bounce.
Change clothes. I get it. You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, if you are just joining us, we just had a whole conversation. It wasn't long, but it was a conversation regarding Shirley Strawberry and her apology to Steve Harvey, his response and what he thinks about Black bloggers. And if you know Robin Ayers, you know that I am very passionate about Black media, Black bloggers, respect, but also our part. You know, how do we own it? Listen, Fahima, I see that you are calling, and Fahima, I love hearing from you. But we have to move on with this conversation that I have next because I already told you guys it's about to be fire. I already told you. I'm so excited to have her here. We have the Rhonda Ray. We're doing Fashion Forward with Rhonda Ray. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, Robin. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. Now people are looking at this like, okay, Robin, Fashion Forward. What does this mean? And who do we have here? So I want everybody to hear from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Rhonda Ray. I have been in the fashion industry well over 20 years. I got my start in the early 90s. I'm kind of aging myself right now, but got my start in the early 90s. I began touring with songstress Brandy in 1995. That was my first gig. I went on tour with her. At that time, I was a one-woman show, hair, makeup, and wardrobe. They didn't have budgets back then to, hire 3 separate people. So it was an exciting time for me. I was still young. The opportunity was a golden opportunity, so I took it. So I got my start there. We toured the world for a little bit, and then post-tour, I came off and I worked on as a wardrobe stylist. I worked on some music videos, some commercials and campaigns, and I just kind of kept it going. From there, worked with a lot of people, styled with a lot of people, and then I worked in Bob Mackey's costume house and got my union affiliation there, and I went on to work on TV and film sets in the wardrobe department. So
Abbreviated version. We need to put some respect on your name, is what you're saying.
Please put a little bit of respect on my name, a lot of bit, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Well, we have the R in our names as a factor that works for both of us. But we also have Brandy. Brandy was the one who pretty much, she didn't give me my start. I will say though that my interview with her was the first interview that sort of put me on as a journalist. So shout out to Brandy.
Shout out to Brandy.
That's my girl. Yes, she's a good friend. So really, really, really great to hear you talk about your background because you are getting ready to lead us into Fashion Forward. Now explain what Fashion Forward is, and I know you want to talk about everything that's been going on with New York Fashion Week, which is so exciting because I love fashion just as much as you do. I have a background. I graduated, from fashion school and, put my feet in it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is a great conversation. That's right. That's why I'm put some respect on my name.
Right,
too.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us, what is Fashion Forward?
So Fashion Forward is an idea that I came up with and I pitched to Tavis to get a spot on this platform here. So when I was looking through all of the lineups, I noticed that there was a void in like a fashion segment or whatnot. So I pitched it to Tavis, and we were just uncertain with how it would just roll out from an audio point of view because, when you're talking about fashion and things like that, that's more of a visual thing. So Fashion Forward is a show idea that I have hopefully for this platform. Okay. So that's what Fashion Forward is. So hopefully you'll be seeing a little more of me leading the Fashion Forward segments.
All right. Well, before we get into that, I know that you were listening to our previous conversation about Shirley Strawberry. You already know what was going on with that. Give me 1 to 2, quick, brief comments about your thoughts on Shirley Strawberry, what's going on with her. And I feel this humanity part of it, right? I kind of feel for her. So tell us your thoughts.
I kind of echo your same thoughts. Listen, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has private conversations with their significant others, thinking that nobody is really listening, and damn sure thinking that it's not going to be leaked a year later. So, the best way to kind of like diffuse a situation, in my opinion, is to get in front of it, and that's what she did. She got in front of it. She admitted what she did, and she was very apologetic about it. And you can have nothing but, respect for her for that. She could have been excuse-driven and all of that, but she got in front of it. She was very sincere. You can tell that she was very embarrassed. And, I just think the timing of it all is just a little weird, So I feel like the leak was intentional, is what I feel, but I do have some empathy, for her because you can tell that she was, clearly upset, but was big enough to apologize and ask for forgiveness publicly. So, I appreciate that about her.
Definitely, I agree with you there. Wardrobe stylist, costumer, and maybe publicist.
Yeah,
because you sound like you are fantastic at that. All right, let's go ahead and get into New York Fashion Week. Tell us, I'm gonna turn the mic over to you. Give us a little bit.
Yeah. So we all know, or maybe we all don't know. So New York Fashion Week started last week, and I think they concluded and wrap up tomorrow or Wednesday. So it's an actual week of Fashion Week. So New York Fashion Week itself is pretty exclusive. It's an invite-only thing. So, even Bevy Smith has spoke out about how she doesn't like how New York Fashion Week kind of like handles things, the hierarchy of it all and all of that. So what people have been doing is doing their own activations and pop-ups around, New York Fashion Week time. So I wanted to focus more on us, the culture of New York Fashion Week. But on the flip side of that, there were some black and brown designers on the main stage of New York Fashion Week, such as Sergio Hudson, and Actively Black. Actively Black.
Oh, they are out there killing the game.
Killing it.
Oh, yeah.
The show was lit. They lived up to their name, Actively Black. They had a little bit of everything on their stage. The other part people may or may not know, because they were on the main stage at New York Fashion Week, to give it more of a global viewership, they partnered with the Shade Room to do their media. So they partner with the Shade Room so that they can stream it and they can get more eyes globally. I thought that was smart too,
yeah,
right?
Definitely.
So they teamed up with the Shade Room on that for New York Fashion Week, and then also, they had Allen Iverson's line. They did Biggie's line. They had the Wakanda line. It was a lot going on Actively Black stage.
So I know that New York Fashion Week is for the most part, it's very exclusive. Like you said, you can't really get, you got to be somebody to get invited. But all these other people who are doing these pop-ups, is that an opportunity for the public to attend?
That is. Good question. So I was leading to that. That's where the public can attend and buy tickets and be a part of it. And so I'm happy that, people are doing their own brand activations around this week, and they've been pretty prominent and successful. Like the fashion spotlight that I'm shining today is on Harlem Fashion Row. And I just love what Harlem Fashion Row is doing. I've been following this young lady, with this woman, Brandis Daniels, for a few years. And so, I was just really compelled by her story, and her story really resonated with me in that, she created a platform for black and brown designers to be able to be seen as they otherwise wouldn't, So what she did is she had an event, a 16th annual event. So, she's been doing this since about 2007. So she had an event, the 16th annual, and it was titled The Remix. And so they honored a few people out of her book. So we'll talk about her book a little bit later. But A$AP Rocky was one of the recipients, as well as Kelly Rowland was one of the recipients. And I think Kelly Rowland took like the Icon of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, award. And then A$AP Rocky, he was a recipient of the Virgil Abloh Award, the
huge.
Late Virgil Abloh.
You know what I love about the collaboration is it feels as though now these days with social media, like you mentioned, teaming up with the Shade Room, it seems like it's more accessible for the everyday person.
It is.
And it used to be, fashion is still, it is very, very exclusive, especially if you are in that world, a celebrity or a buyer or a designer yourself, the people who have, their own sort of acclaim can go to these events. But it makes it feel as though anybody can access it, just be, with social media. And like we watched Kelly Rowland's entire her honorary, like her speech. Absolutely. Like that was fantastic. Absolutely. We wouldn't have been able to do that had we not had social media.
Absolutely. And this wouldn't have been able to happen in under the umbrella of New York Fashion Week. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, brand activations are doing their own thing, and they have some pretty iconic people that they are paying tribute to.
Let me ask you a question about that, and if you don't know, it's fine. I just had a thought. New York Fashion Week is a registered name. I don't know who owns that or you know where that belongs, but if you are a pop-up or if you are an aspiring designer or somebody who is established but you just want to grow, how do you become a part of New York Fashion Week? You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm with New York Fashion Week and just use that line, can you?
No, you definitely have to be. It's much like, you know, like say you have the BET Awards, but there's so many things going on around the BET Awards. It's the same kind of a thing, right? So
and to that point, everybody is using the BET logo, or they're saying BET Weekend. Yeah.
So in this case, they're saying Fashion Week. They may not be saying New York Fashion Week, but they're saying Fashion Week. You know, or Harlem Fashion Week. You know, in this case, Harlem Fashion Row. You know, kind of a thing. So you can play on the words, but you can't use New York Fashion Week per se,
unless you are honestly like truly a part of
one
it.
of the you know brands or designers that are on the main stage, and so that's why we did have some representation on the main stage with Sergio Hudson, as well as Actively Black. You know,
we are talking with Rhonda Ray, Fashion Forward, New York Fashion Week, all the good stuff. Listen, we are not done with this conversation. This is actually a really good conversation, and when we come forward, I want to continue it with Rhonda Ray. You guys are getting an exclusive right here on the Raw Report. So listen, don't you go anywhere. We'll have more on the other side. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Rizumkizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, welcome back on into the Raw Report. You are live, getting that exclusive. We're here with Rhonda Ray talking fashion forward and Harlem Fashion Row. This is exciting stuff right here. And, you know, there are a lot of people who they seem to love fashion. They just don't know how to do it for themselves, or they don't know where to begin. Is looking at, you know, Fashion Week and different clips and things like that, is that helpful for people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking at clips, reading stories, reading people's backgrounds. That is, again, how I, you know, the story with Brandis Daniels of Harlem Fashion Week, you know, the founder of Harlem Fashion Row. That's how I resonated with her, just like reading her story. And, you know, I'm a female in fashion, and so again, her story resonated with me. What I really liked about her as well, that she created this book. She curated this book, and it is called Fashion in Color. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Is that right?
Okay. Fashion in Color.
Yep. Fashion in Color. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So she curated this book, and she has all the black and brown designers in this book. So if anybody is looking for a black designer and they want to wear their stuff, she's teamed up with them. She's got them all in this book. And the good thing is that when you get the book, you flip on the designer. They have a QR code right there that you can just, isn't that great? You can just scan that, and it takes you straight to their website.
Very modern. I love that.
Very,
bringing
very
technology
modern.
into it.
Yeah. You guys looking to get in that book, buying that book, you know. It also doubles as a coffee table book as well, you know. So again, you know, she honored A$AP Rocky. Now, I just want to get into his look a little bit, because I thought that he was clean.
Okay,
you know,
A$AP.
I mean, I really...
You guys know A$AP Rocky as having, he's the partner to Rihanna.
Yes.
Just had baby number 2.
Absolutely.
But also a model, and he's...
Absolutely. The fashion killer.
Fashion killer.
That's what he called himself. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys have all, you know, seen what he stepped up to the podium in, you know, and it was a great look. He just looked great. I'm not going to go into it because we have, you know, don't have that much time, but you know, the just eccentric bedazzled hair clips to the kilt and the skirt, you know, the Louis Vuitton tie. Yes.
He'll put that
all
kilt
of
on.
that. Yeah, all of that. So I was just like, yeah, they don't call him fashion killer for nothing.
Right,
you know?
right.
And then Kelly Rowland took home the Icon of the Year award, and her husband actually introduced her award. And he said that he got a little emotional, you know, giving the introduction speech, because he was just like, she's getting honored to be the Icon of the Year, but she's always been my icon.
That's so sweet.
So he was really, really sweet about it. You know, he gave her the speech. And I'll tell you one other thing, just pivoting a little bit. Dougie Fresh has got to be the busiest person on earth right now, because everybody is paying homage to the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Yes.
So again, that was all over Fashion Week as well, and Dougie Fresh is a participant in each and every one of these things. He was here, then I saw him in New York, then he flew to the president's house, you know, vice president's house. Like, he must be busy, but this is really a great year, you know, because of the 50th year of hip hop.
Yeah, which is it's great because them hip hop artists, they're totally into fashion. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
And I think that that's where a lot of fashion derived from, like just early years of hip hop, you know. So I mean, we can go on and on and on and on with the fashion, but I just wanted to highlight Harlem Fashion Row. They also, you know, gave away an award to Wayman and Micah, which is 2, you know, elite stylists. They've styled all the A-listers, you know, so, and then they also, you know, they also gave an award to Johnny Nunez. He's the fashion photographer.
He's great.
So I just like that they honored a lot of people and gave them their flowers, you know, and it was just a great year this year for, you know, the Harlem aspects of the fashion awards. And so that's what got me really, really excited.
Okay,
you know?
well, that is exciting. That's very exciting. Thank you for breaking that down for us.
Yeah, for sure.
While we have a few minutes, I want you to help someone else who might be listening and they're trying to get their style style right. Is it about trends or is it about staying classic? What do you suggest for anybody who wants to get their style together? Men, women, it doesn't matter.
So me personally, I'm a classic girl. I buy timeless pieces. Timeless pieces can last you forever. I still wear pieces in my closet that are from 20 years ago because if they're made right, they're tailored right, you can wear them timelessly. You know, with patterns, you don't reinvent the wheel. It's the same pattern with different bells and whistles, you know. So I'm more of a classic girl, but then I also blend it with my trending stuff, you know, as well. So I also like to, you know, say that I'm a high-low girl. I mix high-end fashion with lower end, you know, and
that's the key right there.
You know, that is the key. You know, that is the key.
You can look like $1 million with a whole fashion over outfit on and some nice shoes or something and a nice bag.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So I would just say, you know, an outfit should have a beginning, middle, and an end, you know, and, you know, it should tell a story.
I like that.
And
a beginning, a middle, and an end. I've never heard it put that way.
It should tell a story.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what about you? What are you doing these days? Where can people find you? People, I know that they're going to be excited to listen to you and follow the rest of your career and everything. So talk about that for just a moment. Where can people find you?
Yeah. So I'm Rhonda Ray Official on Instagram, and that's pretty much the only platform I use. I'm trying to get into TikTok, but I haven't yet. But I'm Rhonda Ray Official on Instagram, and we're very much on a strike in my industry.
Yes.
So there's no work right now, but I find joy in doing things like this. Still, you know, talking fashion, you know, in a different way. You know, I'm hoping that they can come up with a deal and everybody can get back to work, and you know, we can get back to our regular normal.
Yes,
you know?
yes, a new normal, but it'll be better.
It'll be better.
It'll be better. I'm sure
and more
of it.
respected, hopefully.
Absolutely. Well, I have high hopes.
Yes.
And I know you do too.
Yes.
And thank you so much for coming on
welcome.
to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Again, Rhonda Ray TV.
No,
Rhonda Ray Official.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yes,
so you guys can find her at Rhonda Ray Official. We're getting ready to go into a whole beautiful week.
Right?
A whole beautiful week with you guys. I am so excited for the rest of the week and the topics that we have coming up for you. Thank you to Nick Hamilton for calling in. Fahima, again, I thank you. Try again tomorrow. Give us your point tomorrow. But you already know it's going to be a fire show tomorrow as well. You guys, you got to know you can't turn the station because Zoe Williams is up next. The voice of reason. You already know it's going to be a fire show. I am Robin Ayers, your host, and remember today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. HIV/AIDS activists are calling on House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to reauthorize a key relief